If I was gonna bring a sentient being from another planet to get a little bit of a taste of human civilization over a long period of time, I might bring them in this room.
Standing in front of this amazing giant bronze head of Marcus Garvey, who died in London in 1940. But you've made this head look like it's a ruin from an ancient civilization.
For me, it was about creating a work that, in a way, felt like it should have existed many centuries ago. To honor someone who I consider to be a giant, and to do it in a way that represents the statue of his body of work, really. A lot of the teachings of Dr. King, for example, Martin Luther King, come from Marcus Garvey.
All right, so here we are in a room with 7 amazing bronze sculptures, but they all have real human hair on their heads. And they're all poised in front of these abstract paintings, also made with human hair.
Well, there's a certain vocabulary of things one could do with black hair. You can make it straight, it's curly, it can be woolly, you can braid it, you can lock it. But I also think there's something about the head and hair that I'm thinking about that's related to the brain and thinking. In the times I was growing up, this hair represented a rebellion. Like if you had dreadlocks, you were a rude boy or a rude girl, and this was your way to say to the system, we are not interested in what you have to say. And also the beauty of that is that it's also what the hair just does. So you don't have to necessarily go out of your way to have dreadlocks, you just have to not cut it. That duality is something that I really love. The hair is collected in the neighborhood that I grew up in.
In Nassau?
In Nassau, in Bahamas. Some of it comes from friends of mine in Kingston also. But we collect it, and it gets sorted, and then it's clean and flocked on. But to think of the magic of a material that the body produces, and think of all of the DNA, like all of the stories of all of the people in this room. It's not just one person and one head and one set of hair. It's like everyone's together.
You're interested in storytelling as an artist.
I think the story of the Panchen Lama, who was abducted when he was 6 years old, the second most important person in Tibetan Buddhism, next to the Dalai Lama, His Holiness. I spent time in that community and got a real sense of what the impact of his loss was on that community, and got this tank that can hold the weight of this mineral oil and then fill this body made of glass with mineral oil. I think what is important to me about this particular story is how fragile cultures can be.
Well, in this book, there are 17,000 stories, and 2,000 of those or more are up on the walls of this room. Books are like time machines, but what's great is to see it spread out simultaneously like this, where you get that immediately.
As someone who grew up with an encyclopedia, if you look around you and you don't see anyone in your neighborhood represented in the encyclopedia, you start to maybe ask that simple question, well, where are the people in my neighborhood? If there's a place where everything we know goes, well, could there be a place where the things that we don't know would live?